Each year, thousands of people undergo either hip, knee, or shoulder replacement surgery, but more people are opting for a different solution to put off such an invasive procedure. It's called joint preservation, and joining me this morning is Dr. Stephen Lawless with Northeast Florida Orthopedics and two patients, Davion Lockett and Don Swanson. Don. Tell me your last name, Don?
Swanson.
Swanson. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Since you're the one behind it, let's start with you. Explain to us what this is for people who may not be aware of the different options that are available now.
Well, there are so many options, dozens and dozens of options. This is just two examples of what can be done to help preserve joints so that don't need to be replaced. Mr. Swanson had a bad rotator cuff tear, which can lead to arthritis in the shoulder and require shoulder replacement surgery. They actually tried to fix his rotator cuff and were unable to. So what we can do is we can actually take tissue and repair the rotator cuff with additional tissue so that it can heal better. That has a great chance and prevents the arthritis needing a shoulder replacement.
And I'm sure it's easier on the patient as well.
It is.
What was the process like for you?
It was great. I mean, two surgeons that told me I needed joint replacement, reverse shoulder replacement, and I wanted another option, so I seeked out Dr. Lawless, and I've been very pleased.
Yeah. How does it feel now, just going through it in your recovery?
I just get back from elk hunting in Colorado, and
I think you're good.
It's doing very well, yes.
Awesome. And so what's your experience been like?
It's been wonderful. My surgery came from a sports injury, a lateral movement, and I tore my lateral meniscus. Dr. Lawless actually told me another surgeon probably would have prescribed a knee replacement, but there was another option, a better option. And now I'm back in the gym. I wasn't able to squat before or run. I'm back running, squatting. So it's wonderful. Being so young, you don't want to be confined to a seat or anything like that. So I'm happy.
I know just hearing them, it's obvious that they've had really good experiences, but what are the real, tangible things that are, just good for your body going about it this way as opposed to a total replacement?
Well, like Davion had actually a meniscus transplant, so he was missing his meniscus. Within so many years, he would have had complete damage to the joint. The meniscus protects your own cartilage, and maintaining your own cartilage means that your joint can actually function just like it was meant to. Putting metal and plastic in your knee doesn't really replace the joint the way it should be. Having your own cartilage and your own meniscus does. And so those are some of the things that we really look at trying to do. Maintain as much of that's you, natural, to be you. And there's so many other things, like partial joint replacement, like we talked about. Even an implant as small as this compared to this can be done. But so few surgeons are trained in doing these kind of things. And so they just fall back to this. Plus there's this is an actual implant that is actually made of ceramic. It's a special implant made by a company that actually lasts longer than a metal implant.
I know we have to wrap, but really quickly, how do you know if you're a good candidate for this?
Well, you really just need to go find a surgeon who can do this. If you go to my website, neflortho.com, you can make your own appointment there, and we can just discuss whether or not you can be a candidate for this. You really have to look at MRIs, X-rays, and see how bad the damage is, if it's only part of the joint, or if there's some way to transplant tissue into the joint instead of replacing it. That's the way to go.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lawless, for being here. Of course, we appreciate it. If you want more information, as he said, you can check out his website. The information is right there. It's neflortho.com, or you can just give him a call at 904-635-1901. Thank you all for sharing your stories and being here with us this morning. We appreciate it.